If I didn't have that medical care, I probably would not be here right now. My baby would not be here right now.
If that nurse's aide or whatever they're called couldn't come in and help me with my shower, what if I fell or something? Back to the nursing home, no thanks.
Medicaid provided transportation so her and I can get back and forth to the doctor to make sure that we was going to have a healthy baby.
It gave me the ability to function, and not be taken care of like an invalid.
I would have been lost. I know without the support of the people that I have around me and having Medicaid.
Medicaid is the largest health care insurer in the country. It is a major investment by taxpayers in the health of its citizens, particularly its children. But most people don't know much about Medicaid. We invite you to meet some of your fellow citizens who use Medicaid. The Michigan Developmental Disabilities Council knows a lot about Medicaid and wants to show you the difference Medicaid makes in the lives of many Michigan families, senior citizens, and people with disabilities.
On average across the country, about 50% of the children cared for at children's hospitals have their insurance through the Medicaid program.
Dr. David Alexander has developed an intimate understanding of Medicaid in Michigan through his work as a pediatrician and a hospital administrator.
Although it has one name, it really provides three separate but very important functions. One, it's the largest insurer of children and pregnant women in the United States. It's also an insurance program that covers a chronically disabled adult population. And lastly, it's the sort of stopgap measure for the poor elderly.
More than half of all Medicaid enrollees are children. 1 of every 4 children in the country is on Medicaid.
For healthy kids, having access to good health care keeps them healthy. And for kids with either episodic or chronic illness, having early access to that care makes them recover better and keeps costs lower.
Medicaid provided health care for Jill Wilson and her 3 children while Jill was in school.
Just finished my bachelor's degree. I'm going to be working for a law firm full-time in Bay City as a receptionist. We've been on Medicaid, and I'm very thankful for that. Medicaid has been kind of the safety zone for me. My kids attend daycare, they attend school. My oldest is in elementary school, and kids are exposed to everything. And I've been able to catch it early enough, first signs with Medicaid, and get them treated.
Oh, I got you. No, don't push me back over.
The investment that the state and federal government makes in pediatric health care through Medicaid is an extremely cost-effective investment. The cost of insuring the typical child under the Medicaid program is on average across the country lower than the typical cost of private insurance.
As Jill's career builds and her income puts her over the limit for Medicaid, she is hopeful her employer will provide affordable health insurance.
I think there is a misperception in Michigan and across the country that Medicaid is a welfare program. The vast majority, close to 80% of the children covered by Medicaid, have families who work.
For Adrian and Patricia Tusham, the needs of their newborn son Alexander forced them to rely on Medicaid for health care they could not afford.
I have 2 sons. Nicholas is 5 and Alexander's 9 months. And Alexander had a little rough start to his life.
He was born on a Sunday, and that Thursday they noticed that his fontanelles, his soft spot, was starting to get wider. They decided to send him to Hurley, which is a special neonatal hospital, and went for an MRI. Decided that he did have obstructive hydrocephalus, which is where the brain fluid doesn't drain properly. My baby was in the hospital for 26 days.
And he still has continuing things he has to go for.
Every time he has to be in the pediatric intensive care unit, it's $1,600 a day just for the room.
Very few people make enough to pay for that, even if they have good jobs. And I work in an economy where I have a college degree and I still don't have the job that I want.
We make about $25,000 a year or under.
I have insurance through my work on myself and my other son. And it pays for 80% of my bills, and then Medicaid picks up the other 20% on my son. Actually, my one goal is just to go to work every day and know I have enough money to pay for my kids to have everything they need.
Medicaid does not just pay for medical care. It is also the largest insurance payer for long-term care services. Many of Michigan's senior citizens and people with disabilities rely on Medicaid for their independence.
Well, my name's Barb Collins, and I've lived in Grand Rapids all my life since 3 years old. I was in the nursing home because I was recovering from a stroke.
With the help of the My Choice Medicaid waiver, which pays for direct care workers to help seniors and people with disabilities in their homes, Barb was able to leave the nursing home and live on her own again.
Well, I wanted to be on my own and wanted to see my kitty. I didn't even know if I still had her. I didn't know if I had a place to go to. My social worker at the nursing home told me, I've got some good news for you. And I said, okay, what's the good news? We found a place for you and your furniture. Medicaid waiver helped me pay for some of my services. I get senior meals. They bring me lunch and a dinner. I have visiting physicians, which is based here in Grand Rapids, and they make house calls. That's what they specialize in, is house calls. They come once a month and they do my blood pressure. That is a great help because I don't have any reliable transportation to get to a doctor.
My name is Sarah Harrison, and I came to Michigan when I was 12 years old. I had 9 children, and I've got 82 grand and great-grandchildren. Now Medicare takes care of the doctor visits and the medication, but Medicaid takes care of my glasses, my dentures, you know, those kind of things like that. My walkers, my, you know, if I need a wheelchair or whatever. They just bought me a little cart to carry my little portable thing around so I can go to church.
Today, Sarah lives an active and independent life because of Medicaid Home Help, which pays a worker to help her out at home.
It's cheaper for me to stay in my home than for me to go to a nursing home. I have a home help that comes in. He does the cleaning. He helps prepare my meals. When I'm not able to drive myself, he drives for me. If I couldn't have home help, I wouldn't be able to stay in my home. I would have to go to a nursing home.
Another Medicaid program supplies the electronic home health monitor, which Sarah uses to send her blood pressure, heart rate, and weight to her doctor's office for monitoring.
You entered 135. Is this correct?
Medicaid is also good economic sense for Michigan. For every Medicaid dollar Michigan invests in its children, working families, seniors, and people with disabilities, the federal government pays an additional $1.30. And because it is such a large program, it pays the wages of many, many healthcare workers. Several years ago, Adam's spine was severely injured as a result of a diving accident.
Without someone paying my medical bills, such as Medicaid and Medicare, which covered all the medical bills while I was in intensive care and in rehab and in intensive care and back in rehab and then in outpatient, I believe a person would be shoved out the door as quick as they could and not necessarily when they're ready to.
For Adam, independence means running a small business restoring classic and modern automobiles. 2 of his employees are people with disabilities, and in 2004, Adam was recognized for his hard work and dedication when he received the Small Business Owner of the Year award. But the success of individuals throughout Michigan goes deeper than awards.